Memorial Day is close enough. We can call this a early summer check-in with Clemson football. We got Jason Priester here, allclemsontigers.com. Check out his work. Of course, it's baseball season, and I got to think that ACC tournament's coming up here in the next 2 weeks.
Right now, I am watching the first game right now. Clemson will play the winner of the game that's on right now between Virginia Tech. Actually, I take that back. The ACC does this stupid pool play thing, man, where everybody plays everybody. So the two teams playing right now, Clemson has to play both of them, but whoever wins today, Clemson has to beat them to move on.
You know, this is the time when there are unofficial visits and official visits and camps and all of that going on here with a high school camp coming up next weekend. So kind of give us the lay of the land on where Dabo and his staff are going to be putting their attention.
Yeah, Dabo's camps start next Wednesday on the 31st. There's going to be two positions that I will be keeping an eye on: quarterback and defensive end. Clemson's still looking for a quarterback in the 2024 class. Done missed on several guys: DJ Lagway, Walker White, Jaden Davis, Aaron Nolan. You know, they've all committed elsewhere. So Clemson's kind of left, going further and further down the board. Still haven't decided on that next target yet. Looked like it might be Ethan Grunkemeyer. Garrett Riley went and watched him throw a couple weeks ago. He was already a pretty heavy Penn State lean, and I don't think, he's always been planning on committing before the end of May. It's the 23rd. He's still yet to visit Clemson. I don't expect that visit to happen, and without that visit, no offers coming. So I say Clemson's still looking for their next quarterback target. There is one kid coming to work out at Dabo's camp next week. Kamari McClellan out of Alabama. He's a 3-star guy. People were kind of high on this kid before last year. He had a down junior season. Interest kind of dropped off a little bit. We'll see what he does when he gets to Dabo's camp. There's bound to be some other guys. Maybe that next quarterback target is somebody that rolls through there next weekend and blows the doors off of the coaching staff and do what I call earning an offer the hard way, earning it at camp like a lot of these kids do. There's a defensive end coming in, Elias Williams. He's already visited Clemson during the offseason. He's going to come in and work out for the staff. End is a place where the board is already expanding. We saw an offer go out today to Dominique Nichols. I can't even talk today. Sorry. 4-star guy from up in Maryland. He's already got more than 40 offers, if I'm remembering that right. So we'll see if Clemson can get him in town for that big official visit weekend that comes up right after Dabo's camps, the weekend of June the 2nd. Speaking of that big official visit weekend, I think they got probably 25, 30 guys expected to be in. Clemson's, most of Clemson's current commits are defensive guys. They've got a running back. They got a tight end. They've yet to get a quarterback or a wide receiver. No quarterbacks expected to be there that weekend, not just yet anyways. Are a number of wide receivers. The number is supposed to be 2. You got guys like Braylon Staley's coming in, Bryant Wesco, Alex Taylor, Cam Coleman, and Mike Matthews. I get asked all the time about which receivers Clemson's in best shape with. I think they're in solid shape with Alex Taylor, and probably Braylon Staley. He's an in-state guy from Aiken. But as far as the best shape with it, it's hard to tell. But I still think Clemson gets at least 2 of the guys that are going to be there that weekend. I don't think the board's going to have to expand any further. I think if they only take 2, it'll be 2 of the guys that are there that weekend.
Off the top of your head, how many hard commits? And of course, I can look this up in just a second, but I was just curious because this is obviously going to land around 22 to 25.
8. I want to say 8 off the top of my head. I think they're at 8. I think only 2 of them on the offensive side of the ball. Tight end Christian Betancourt, running back David Jamume. I think I'm saying that right.
It sounds good.
Both 4-star guys. Betancourt's probably one of the better tight end prospects in the country, probably one of the top 5 in my opinion. I think they hit it out of the park with that kid, and I think Jamume is probably – the recruiting service is kind of different on him, or at least they did the last time I checked. Rivals was a a good bit higher on him than, say, 24/7 Sports was. But we're talking about a guy who is yet to be the featured back for his team. But I know C.J. Spiller loves what he's seen out of him so far, and I think his stock's going to rise during his senior season.
Yeah, so you got to think that by the end of the summer, they're going to be more in that 12 to 15 range. So there's probably going to be a lot of activity between now and then. As you well know, if you look at their rivals, and I mean rivals, not on the field necessarily, but in the recruiting hall, Georgia, Ohio State, etc., they're in that 12 to 14 range. So yeah, they've got some commitments to work on.
Last summer was the first time Dabo's ever hosted official visits during the spring and summer. You know, that official visit weekend in June, and it was extremely successful. They set a record for a number of commitments in the month of June. I think they had 12 in the month of June alone, the most ever under Dabo in any one month. I would expect fairly similar results, maybe not quite that many, but I think that weekend's going to produce. I think it's going to yield some commitments. They might not happen that weekend, but they will start to trickle in as we get into June and towards the end of June. And yeah, I would think Clemson's at least at 12 by the time July rolls around. By the time we get to the season, probably most of the class is locked up.